they're going to put in Sharia law.
By the way, no, stop. The Egyptian government banned protests last week, and I meant to cover this 2 days ago. Guys, put into the search engine. I want to back up Pastor Williams. Egyptian government calls for modesty police, just like Iran, so they literally are doing this.
Yes, and they believe in the Quran. They do not believe in the Bible as God's word. In fact, they hate it. We are considered infidels. Women, oh my goodness.
Well, Lindsey, just to be clear, and we're going to go to break, long segment coming up. I want to interrupt you because I want you to be able to go. I'm not here, and I know you're a Baptist pastor, and I respect you, and I'm a Christian myself. I mean, a lot of the Muslims don't want war and don't hate Christians, but the point is the groups they're putting in do want war and have been calling for crises so the globalists can have this larger clash of civilizations.
Muslim Brotherhood is militant. And do you know what happens to women? You know, we talk about segregation. We talk about nobody being put down or talked bad about in America. You know, every single woman's organization in the United States of America should literally be raising the roof, shouting holy horror to Washington that the Muslim Brotherhood is going to be taking over all of these Middle East countries. You know what rights women are going to have under the Muslim Brotherhood? Ladies, where are you? Why in this world aren't you out there shouting to the top of your voice that this is the most cruel thing that could ever happen on the face of this earth, is for our government to basically, okay, a week and a half ago, you ready? I may as well give it right now. And then if we have to, we'll take it up on the next part. A week and a half ago, our Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton, went to Libya. I heard it one time on the national news. Then I found out from my source what it was all about. She met with the Muslim Brotherhood. It was closed. No news people were allowed. When she came out, she was not allowed to even talk to a news media.
Stay there, Lindsey. 18-minute segment coming up. You'll have the floor when we come back. The double cross, the overthrow of the Arab countries. You were just told this by your powerful source. On the other side, break it all down. What's going on with Hillary? Quick break. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Alex Jones with Infowars.com, interviewing Lindsey Williams. But I want Lindsey to be able to calmly go through the globalist master plan, the planned overthrow of all of these Arab-run countries that have royalty in charge or plutocrats. Will that include Jordan? The globalists stabbing their own minions in the back, a larger strategic plan leading towards the end of the dollar. We'll be talking to Lindsey Williams about that. He's going to lay it all out in his latest info that dovetails and piggybacks with the last info. Remember the stuff 6 months ago, now coming true because he has this insider information. Okay, let's go ahead now and go back to Lindsey. Lindsey, I'm going to try to shut up, sit back. I just want to add, I looked it up. You're saying your inside source says she went to eastern Libya. They're reporting she's had a bunch of meetings in the last 3 weeks in Europe and London, closed meetings with the Muslim Brotherhood and, quote, the Libyan rebel leadership. And the head of the rebels was in the New York Times admitting, I sent people to kill Americans. So he is al-Qaeda. Of course, he's been in Virginia, another one for 2 decades. I mean, this is red-handed that we're talking about. So break down, recap the master plan, where this is going. Your source saying they're going to go all the way to Riyadh. They're going to overthrow the king. The king is meeting with Gates. Today, threatening to raise the oil prices above 200. So I guess they're starting to get desperate. That adds credibility to what you're saying. Lindsey, you've got the floor.
6 months ago on InfoWars, I said that I had just been told on the phone by my elitist friend that there was going to be a crisis in the Middle East. It began in Egypt. Then it went over to Libya. It will spread from one part of the Middle East to the other. It is a master plan. I did not know at the time what the extent of this was going to be. 1 week after the crisis in Egypt, my friend told me again everything that was going to happen, and last time I was on InfoWars, I gave that. How that they will spread this crisis situation through the entire Middle East, how that the elite are supporting. They are the ones behind them with the money of the Muslim Brotherhood, which is jihad. It is Sharia law.
But by the way, that's on record that the West is funding all the rebels and starting all this. So that's on record.
And the women of America should be raising the roof if you say that you believe in women's rights, for goodness sakes, why don't you start taking some action with what the Muslim Brotherhood's going to do over there, those poor women in every one of these countries that they take over. And as it will spread from place to place, okay, here we go, please, put this down. Every Middle East king, every royal family is going to fall. It's only a matter of time. Now, the elite's timeline is the end of 2012. They said, Mr. Fromm, before he ever died, said that the dollar will be dead, not non-existent, but dead by the end of 2012. That means that they have to create a number of things. First of all, when they told me that there would be a crisis in the Middle East in 4 to 5 months, it took place in Egypt first, just as they had said it would, and then it will spread through the entire Middle East for the purpose of getting crude oil to the price where they want it to go.
I want to be clear. The purpose is not to give freedom to the people. I mean, who likes Mubarak? They're putting something in worse, banning protest, bringing in the modesty police. We just put that headline up earlier. They're getting rid of Gaddafi, putting in Al-Qaeda. They're going to put even worse people in.
So last week, our Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton, actually met with the Muslim Brotherhood. She met that for the purpose of guaranteeing them that each country that they take over, they will have the government of that country. Mark my words, you are going to see the Muslim Brotherhood put in September whenever they have the elections in Egypt. Once Gaddafi is removed out of Libya, the Muslim Brotherhood will take over. This is being done, but to me it's so interesting how the elite create a crisis and then create a solution. They're going to use the Muslim Brotherhood over however long a period of time it takes them to accomplish what they want, and they will be scuttled again in the end because the whole thing turns out with the New World Order over a period of years, bringing about total control all over the face of the earth. Now watch this spread. You're going to see it spread everywhere. Please watch this. The last place that the Muslim Brotherhood will take over is the royal family in Saudi Arabia. There's a reason for this. They want to catch all of the other countries first. Syria, oh my gracious, they're opening fire, the government is, on the people and killing them. The same thing that happened in Libya. And if we say that we disagreed with what Gaddafi did in Libya, our government better take immediate action. I mean, this is an action that is not going to end. It's nowhere near coming to a close. It's going to go from country to country. Syria's killing them right at Bahrain. You're going to have Yemen. The last place is Saudi Arabia. The reason for this is, as I was told 1 week after the first crisis in Egypt, was to raise the price of crude oil to $200 a barrel. Now Saudi Arabia's oil minister is saying $300 a barrel possible. Well, I don't know that. I haven't been told that, but I was told $200 a barrel for the purpose of bringing about the end result. Now, notice this, end result. Saudi Arabia supplies more crude oil to America than any other country. And the end result is what they want, which Saudi Arabia, when it hits them, mark my words, you'll have $200 a barrel, you'll have $6, $7, $8 a gallon at the gas pump. My son this past weekend was in California. He actually took a picture and brought it home to me. $4.83 a gallon in California for diesel fuel last weekend. Now, the end result of all of this is to take the price of crude oil where they want it, to basically make it non-available because of all the crisis that will take place in the Middle East, so that they can collapse the dollar. Don't you understand that the New World Order is not destroying America? The New World Order is taking over America. It is a matter of control. And in order to do it, they have to take the price of crude oil to $200 a barrel, collapse the dollar, bring it to a situation of having so little purchasing power by the end of 2012 that the government of the United States of America will have to default on its debt. Do you realize this is a long-range program through the end of 2012 to bring about basically a control of America so they can control the whole world. After all, we've had the reserve currency of the world for all of these years. There's got to be a default on the American debt. Right now, we are in horrible trouble. Just listen to Congress and what they're saying about the debt crisis. They can't even get anything together up there whatsoever for Friday, being the day that the budget runs out. Now, whenever the dollar collapses, do you realize what's going to happen to China? who holds $1 trillion of our paper, T-bills, and they've trusted it. All of these kings and heads of state in the oil-producing countries of the world, they have trusted it because there was nothing as sound as the American dollar and our T-bills and our Federal Reserve issues. When all of this collapses, can you imagine what the end result of it is going to be? It's going to be a total takeover of the New World Order, but in order to do that, they've got to get the price of gold to $3,000 an ounce. Folks, please, I begged of you 2 years ago to buy every piece of gold you could get, every piece of silver you could get your hands on. You haven't seen anything yet. I am pleading with you. I'm begging of you. I don't care if it is $1,455 an ounce right now, and silver is $39.50 and pushing 40. It doesn't matter. Go buy it because it's going to go to $3,000.
Well, Lindsey, that's what your high-powered
currency with it.
Exactly. They're going to back their one world government currency with it. Ron Paul said yesterday on air, and we're going to add this to our article that's linked up on Drudge right now, when Ron Paul basically said that he would be announcing in the next month that he's probably going to run for president. We're going to add to that article an update. Headline, Ron Paul, gold commodity prices signal big event, economic collapse. And it's a simple rule that if you devalue the global currency, the dollar, that it isn't that gold and silver have gone up. It just takes more of those dollars to buy that gold and silver, and it signifies the beginning of the serious inflation. And Ron Paul agreed. The one world government crowd, the New World Order crowd, and this is Ron Paul, the big presidential contender, concurring with us, that as they do this, they need to destroy the existing orders of the world to bring in the new Bancor global one world government currency, because things will get so bad, they will offer this as the solution. We are now entering that time of crises, order out of chaos. What else did your source tell you? Any other key tidbits?
Alex, isn't it amazing? And I sit here listening to you right now, just utterly stunned, because you're exactly right. Isn't it amazing that everything that Mr. Fromm told me before he died, everything that my elitist friend now is telling me, that every single bit of it they told me 2 years, 3 years ago, back 35 years ago when Mr. Fromm told me that they were not going to open up Gull Island and the Arctic Wildlife Refuge until they got the price of crude oil to where they wanted it to go. And at the time he wouldn't tell me what that price was. But then I found out just recently they wanted to go to $200 a barrel. Isn't it amazing that every single thing that these people said way back yonder 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years ago, now Ron Paul is talking about it. Now the national newsletters of almost every single writer.
And then oil. And then oil and natural gas is going to be scapegoated for this, and they're going to force us onto the new green economy that costs 2 or 3 or 4 times even what oil does. This is the shutdown of our industrial system, the stated UN plan. The head of NASA, Goddard Center, says he wants a post-industrial America, shut off our power. This is how they're doing it. They'll sell us less of it for a much higher price. When they built our whole society off interstate highways under the Eisenhower plan, when you've got to travel to get to work, when most people can't use buses or trains, they are holding us hostage. They got us dependent on oil, and now they're shutting down the refineries. They're shutting down the supply. They have engineered this whole thing beautifully for global control, and they will pose as the saviors. Anything else he told you, then we're going to calls.
Well, first of all, he said that our Secretary of State had met, Hillary Clinton had actually met with the Muslim Brotherhood, and they have been guaranteed that they will be given each of the nations they take over. What we are being so betrayed by Washington, D.C., it is startling to me as I hear all of this. So when she met with them, she said, okay, go ahead and take all these countries. This never appeared on the news media anywhere. No news person was allowed to talk with her after she came out of the meetings. I was given a chart. I know this is startling. I haven't said this yet on your program. I was sent a chart by my present living elitist friend, and the chart indicated what the Muslim Brotherhood wants to do. Now, the elite won't let them go as far as they want to go. They're going to let them go as far as taking over everything in the Middle East, every single king. Mark my words. I haven't said this before because just this past week I got it. Every Middle East king, every royal family is going to be deposed. They think that somehow the American government might stand with the people of Saudi Arabia. No way. You mark my words. The Muslim Brotherhood will eventually take it over. That'll be the last one to be taken. And they will be given, the Muslim Brotherhood will be given these countries because they want chaos in every one of them in order to cut off the oil supply, basically, as they've done in Libya. 1.6 million barrels was cut off in Libya from going to certain places in Europe, not America. When Saudi Arabia comes around, the majority of our oil supply will be cut off. Every bit of this is a part of